Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Ion Racing action. We're here in South Korea for the Formula 1 qualifying. Joining you in the commentary box today, well technically joining me for you, is Shea, the Brandstar team owner. Hello Shea, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, D-Pod?
I'm doing good. I'm very excited to see how this rerun is going to turn out. I believe some preventions have been put into place just to try and stop the server crashing spontaneously, which I'm very looking forward to. Hopefully be able to actually get a race in, because so far we've tried to race 3 times and only one of them we've actually got to the checkered flag. But in the meantime, before we take you to the live action with 7 minutes remaining of qualifying, let's just have a look at some new graphics. These are the Ion Insights graphics, and this is the estimated qualifying order that we've predicted so far for each team. At the moment, it's roughly sort of correct, I'll put it that way. But yeah, this is the order we expect each team to be at roughly. So it isn't by driver, it is by team, but this data is based off of last week, so you can see Aston Martin way out of place, Fleet at the back. It was based off of data from 2 weeks ago when we had a full free practice session bonanza, because this weekend we've only had a 30-minute practice session, as well we had them all last week, and this is just a rerun of Korea, which will hopefully go well. So if we now go straight to the live action, we have 6 minutes remaining now of qualifying, and at the moment the uprise driver of Real Mickey Kulit is topping the field. But they're not setting lap times anymore, and Toyota's new driver of East Sliders in the number 77 car is doing wonders, currently sitting P2 with a 137.213.
Not sure I'd call that a new driver. That is East Sliders, the manager for the Zen racing teams. He helps out Luca with the teams. So you're seeing him in that second position. He's been getting back into the F1 side of things, and seems to do a great start already, getting second in that qualifying pace so far.
Did drive for the team last season, but we haven't seen him in the car this season yet.
I've noticed we've only got 22 people right now on the track. I think Coretta just joined, is going to be starting his own run for Craig. But as you can see, there's only 22. We got 13 teams, so we should be seeing 26 teams. So that means we have about 4 cars that are not on the field at the moment. Off the top of my head, I can see that there is one Aeroc missing, one Brandstar missing. There is a BMW missing. I think there's only one Craig on the field, so that's, yeah, I think that's the 4 that are not there right now. So we're going to be seeing only one driver for Brandstar, Aeroc, BMW, and Craig, which means if they don't have a second driver on the team, they will not be able to get those 2 resource points. As of right now, though, Real Miggy Kulit's going to take first, East Sliders in second, Matt in third, Critical Noob in fourth, Professor Blockster in fifth, and Dominus Rex in sixth, Fernan 2403 in seventh, Ben and Jaster in eighth, 420 Work Music in ninth, and Lance Droid in 10th. So already we can tell that Aston Martin's got 2 drivers in those top 10 on the grid, and then you have East Sliders with their Zint team in second and Lance Droid in 10th. They're going to take the front and back of those top 10. Other than that, we're noticing Kakera in 11th position. You notice he's been getting some really low places in the grid positions at the start of the race. What do you think's up with that?
Well, I don't know really. Kaikera was doing well in qualifying last season, but as we saw in Australia, his race pace is there. It's just his qualifying and hot lap pace just isn't there at the moment. I'm not sure whether he is probably trying to improve on that. Something might have happened in the winter break, well, not winter break, but mid-season break over February, April and May, which just, I don't know, maybe just a lack of practice. But he was qualifying well last season, race pace wasn't there. Now it just seems to be the other way round. He was finishing consistently on the podium last season, didn't get a win. First race this season, right out of the bag, won the race in Australia. So he just seemed to sort of flip, really.
That sounds about right. Now we have only 3 minutes left in qualifying, and based on what I can see on the grid, nobody's going to be doing exceptionally faster time. Most of them are in the top 10 are showing yellows, and some down bottom are showing a mix of yellow and green. I haven't seen much in in terms of changes. If anything, I could maybe see Cool Plug Alt with Red Star in 15th being able to get some positions up if they can continue that green sector.
Everyone, yeah, there's no improvement whatsoever. The only purples that we can see on the timing display is the colour next to a corrector's car, because they're driving for Quake this weekend.
Well, to be fair, that actually could make sense due to the fact that the track water has now been turned up to 10% in terms of the 0% that this qualifying started on. So we're going to be starting to see people starting to get a little less traction on those tires. Not enough to start working on the intermediates, but still might be a little bit of traction loss.
Seems like a lot of people are just returning to the pits. I don't know whether to get into a new vehicle or to just give up, because like Shea said, there's going to be less traction now. Slick tyres are still the preferred tyres, but there is going to be less traction, so we're not onto wets just yet. So the fastest times of the session would have been found at the start of the session.
I don't think we mentioned this, but Low Midday is going to be running for Aeroc today. He was not active, he was not present last time we tried running Suwon, and he will be the only driver today in Aeroc, from what I can tell, unless they can get another driver out there in the next 1 minute. But we can also notice that he's in 16th place at the moment, which is kind of lower than Kakera at the moment. Is also close to Power Unit and second KRR driver. And we noticed, and we remember that Low Midday got a podium place at Australia. And I know this is the one race that Sky Duel is going to be trying to run for. He's trying to get a podium for. Do you think Low Midday will be able to clinch that out?
Well, Low Midday is now finally off. If they may be able to get a faster lap time, just depends if they can really hook it up in the last few seconds of qualifying. As we saw in Australia, race pace is good for Low Midday, and in Season 2, absolutely astonishing race pace with Audi. So if that talent can be carried through into today's race, they could be a contender for very good points.
That is true. And as Aeroc is a brand new team, they might not have as much experience when it comes to these new weather conditions and having to understand the changes that you have to keep in mind when it comes to those. So we'll have to see how they work with those during this whole race. And it looks as though looks like a leaderboard mix-up. It's got Matt in second and East in third, but that is supposed to be East in second and Matt in third. But now that qualifying's finished, everybody's going to finish their times.
And Low Midday has gone into the wall, so that is not a time to be improved on. Just lost lost one wheel, front left. So Low Midday is going to be starting in 16th place.
And it also seems Cool Plug Alt is in the garage, so it means that first green sector is not going to turn into anything. So you'll be seeing Cool Plug Alt in 15th, unless one of these drivers below him can get it a faster time.
This is Power Unit, currently P17. Not improving, just depends what they can do in the third sector. I wouldn't be surprised if if KRR abandon this lap.
Seems like Kakira's finishing a lap. Who else is still out there?
Yeah, Power Unit has given up on that lap.
Yeah, he's gone to the pits. Most of the other drivers have crashed. So it seems as though that might be it, except for maybe Kakera finishing his lap, but I don't think it will amount to a better position. However, I could be wrong. Nope, that is 2 yellows. I'm going to assume that is he's going to stay in that position. So, that is going to be your qualifying finish. Real Miggy Kulit taking the pole position. East Sliders with Zint taking second. Matt and Brandstar taking third. Critical Noob with McLaren taking fourth. Professor Bloxer with Aston Martin taking fifth. And Dominus Rex with E-Spirit taking sixth. And Fernand with Aston Martin taking seventh. Finn and Jaster with, I do believe that is BMW, taking 8th. 420 Merc Music with Audi, taking 9th. And 10th position is going to be Landstroid, followed by Kakera, Aviation Chad, Johnson, Dance Hajek, Cool Plug Alt, Low Midday, Power Unit, Jogsy, Hilltecker, Real Rick Astley, Doughball Dude, and in 22nd, Creta.
So, has Real Miggy... I'm struggling to remember what race it was. The thing with these reruns of races, I can't remember which race was the official race where the points counted, and then which race was the cancelled race. So I don't know if Real Miggy has officially got a pole position already, or whether that was in the scrapped Australia. So this could be Real Miggy's first or second pole position, depending on which Australia race actually counted, which I can't remember.
I can't remember myself, although I do remember Real Miggy was getting some considerable pace on some of the Australia times. But let me see if I can look back on that. He did not get the qualifying pole position, I think. I think that was Capitan Bo, but he wasn't second. Although I might check to see if I can see the one for the redo. Yeah, he also didn't get it for the redo. That was Critical Noob in first position. And he got... Actually, I don't think he was available for that race, because I can't see him on the results. So,
My mind is deceiving
this
me.
probably is... So yeah, this is going to be his first pole position.
Drivers are now going to be changing their setups if they feel that they may need a different setup for the wetter conditions. Don't know what it's just yet, but it's going to be starting on 10% track water, which is still not as fast as 0%, so also less traction.
That is true.
Even though it's a
And
small percentage.
I do believe it'll also be going up considerably during the race. I'm not sure when they're going to start bringing it back up, but we might see intermediates sometime during this race. I don't remember what they said the percentage of the track water would be for maximum, but if we see, 50%, we might see some intermediates come out.
When was the last wet race we had? I can't remember.
I'm not sure I can remember either. I remember the first one we had with us, Australia, and I'm not particularly sure if we had another, but maybe the top chat can help us out here. YouTube chat, what do you think? What was the last wet race we had in F1?
Now we just got to wait for 10 seconds for the stream to go to catch up and actually find out.
It's okay. They're good. They're good. Oh, that's true. Great Britain. Great Britain was a wet track, I think.
Of course. What a surprise.
Yeah, that is a surprise, yeah. So yeah, I do believe Great Britain was the last one that was dry, and I think it was only Australia and Great Britain that were wet. If my memory does not fade me.
I don't know if we had any wet conditions until on last season.
So yeah, I think Australia and Britain were the only ones that were from racing. Yeah. Australia and Britain, I believe, were the only wet tracks.
Okay. So this will make this the third wet race in Ion history.
You want to show the starting positions?
I will. Just getting everything saved here. Okay, let's have a look. Everyone is gridding up, getting ready for the Korean Grand Prix around the Seoul International Circuit. Everyone who hasn't qualified has just been told to start at the back of the grid. So I'll be starting very shortly, everybody. See you in a few moments. Hello everybody, welcome back to South Korea. We were here a couple weeks ago. Didn't pan out very well. It was of course the 4th season of F1, the 2nd round of the championship. We're rerunning it again, a whole new grid for a whole new race. Kaikera's recovery drive here last season features one of the most overtakes we've ever seen in any Ion race ever. It was a very, very good drive. He was literally very, very out of breath by the end of it. This track also has one of the highest changes in elevation that we will see on any track this season. It's quite stark. You'll see on the track map in a minute. So here is the track map of the Suwon International Circuit. 17 corners. A lap time around 1 minute and 37 seconds, at least for the fastest time in qualifying. As you can see there, a lot of elevation. You swoop up through turns 1 and 2, up the second DRS zone, and then back down for the S's. Here you can see DRS zone 1 going pretty much the full length of that back straight, and DRS zone 2 is that little straight there in the middle. Let's have a look at the starting grid then. Lining up in first, that's Real Miggy Kulit with Uprise, and alongside him in second is E-Sliders. Moving to the second row, we have Matt in third in the Brandstar, and Critical Noob in fourth with McLaren. Fifth is going to be the Aston Martin of Professor Bloxer with Indominus Rex beside them in the E-Spirit GP car. P7, Professor Bloxer's teammate Fernand in the other Aston Martin. The first of the BMWs is Fenenjaster in eighth. P9, the first Audi of 420 Merc Music. Lance Droid lining up 10th with Toyota. Kaikara lining up 11th with KR Racing. P12 is Aviaton Chad in the other McLaren. P13 is Johnson 420, that's the second Uprise. P14 is Dante Hajek with Audi. P15 is the reserve driver for Red Star, Cool Plug Alt Low Midday lining up P16 with Airrock. P17 is Power Unit with KR Racing, and the last E-Spirit is Jogsy in P18. P20 is going to be the real Rick Astley in the fleet. P21 is going to be the fleet reserve driver, and in P22 that's going to be Craig's reserve driver. That's correct. Nobody qualified in P23, nobody qualified in P24, nobody qualified in P25 or P26. So as we take a look at the grid here, everyone has gridded up, getting ready to go. All the lights are on. No green flag just yet. As you can see, still team staff on the grid. Joining you for today's race in the commentary box is going to be me, as well as the Brandstar team owner, Shay.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for turning into the stream. We are about to be starting the race. However, I do want to bring an update. Dpod did say that nobody qualified for 23rd and 24th, but we've had 2 drivers join the race, and we'll be starting at the back. We will have a Paulo Struck with BMW, and we will be having Alex with Brandstar. So they'll be starting in the back, and we'll take your 23rd and 24th position.
Very exciting stuff indeed. The tower has just been wiped. I'm unsure whether we're going to go for a formation lap or just a jump in, jump out for the timing screen. Find out very shortly. Weather for this race, if for anyone interested, it's going to start at 10%, go up to 45%, and then we'll finish on 0% track water. So we know the percentages, but we don't know when those are going to be changed. So we don't know when we're going to go up to 45%. Obviously, we'll go up a bit gradually. And then we don't know at what point we'll start decreasing to go down to 0. Jumping in and jumping out to populate the timing screen.
Seems as though we will not be doing a formation lap for this one. We're going to get straight to the jump in, jump out so we can get this race started.
Everyone being told to watch the lights. And they're off and away in Korea. Looks like a good start for one of the KRs in the back there, moving across straight onto the racing line. Professor Blocks are a bit slower to do so. Matt seems to be getting up there in the Brand Star, but as we follow Real Miggy Kulit round turn 1, they still seem to be in the lead. And there's a big slide, and there's a crash at the back. Who's that? There's a big slide for East Sliders.
That's Professor Bloxer. He's already out of the race.
Professor Blocks is out of the race.
That's at the very beginning. That was turn 1.
So Professor Blocks are already out of the race. Lots of people going wide as we now rejoin the front pack. Real Miggy Kulit is still in the lead of the race on this opening lap. What a frantic start it is. Look at that. There's a McLaren up there. There's also an Audi going down out of the first DRS zone. Critical Noob made their way up to joint fourth with Fernan, and 420 Merc Music is up into second.
Watch this turn. This is one of the turns that takes a lot of these drivers off guard. Alright, good work for the rest of these drivers. That DRS Zone 2 is a killer.
Very, very difficult indeed.
That is an Audi in front, yes. And not only that, we got Aston Martin, McLaren, KR, Brandstar. You got a lot of different drivers trying to vie for that first position. However, in the back, we see a few drivers in the back. Let's see, Alex with Brandstar and a Red Star behind him. I believe that's going to be Cool Plug Alt. No, it is not Cool Plug Alt. Hang on a second. That's a different Red Star driver. Who is that? Oh, that's Hilltecker.
2 purple sectors for 420 Merc Music. Now, exiting the final corner, coming across the start-finishing line, and the fastest lap does go to the Audi very quickly. P2 is now shared by Critical Noob and Fernand. Them two are doing a very good job at sharing position so far this race. Shared P3, now sharing P2. Kai Kara already up to P4.
Slip. That's Miggy.
What? Real Miggy?
Slipped. He's going to fall back.
Okay, but they're not out of the race.
No, they are not out of the race. The only one out of the race right now is Professor Bloxer. His car's still on the wall. Those top drivers seeing it, noting that they need to keep their cool on this race. So that already means that Aston Martin will not be able to get 2 people on the top 10 today.
Or at least Fernan is running quite highly as Critical Noob takes the lead of the South Korean Grand Prix.
And here we go, down the chicane, starting on DRS Zone 2 for these top drivers. This is usually where a lot of people are taken off guard, but as of now, it seems as though people have started to get their bearings. Everybody taking that beautifully. I wonder if Asta did some improvements to that area. I haven't seen anybody make a slip up there anymore.
Now, I believe when we tried to run Korea last... I keep trying to say last weekend. Wasn't last weekend. Formula E was last weekend. 2 weeks ago in the last block, as Fernand takes the lead, by the way, everybody. That's now an Aston Martin in the lead, but very closely followed by 420 Merc Music, who still holds fastest lap.
And Critical Noob.
And Critical Noob also very close up there. Matt and Kaikara very close to each other. But last weekend, I said it again, last block A weekend, Faster said that he was going to see if he could... reduce the try count of the track. So I wonder whether if he did reduce the try count of the track, whether that flattened out some of the bumps that we had.
That'd be interesting if that was the case, and would be and due to the fact that not many people are spitting out as much right now, could mean that there's been some major improvements to this track and a little easier for these drivers to maneuver. As of now, this whole kind of group of cars are fairly together. I mean, they're only going through about one corner at a time. I'd say maybe about 30 seconds between first and last.
Um,
Oh.
at the
However, in
moment
this
it's
DRS
around
zone, it's gonna be
15, I think.
split
It
up.
hasn't updated in a while though, so it's going to be interesting to
Uh,
see.
You'll see the update really soon as they get past that first sector.
It's a good race for Kaikera so
Uh-oh.
far. Maybe
Are
not
we
for the
lagging?
server.
Is that it? Third lap already? And there it is. Yep.
Ooh,
Uh,
ooh.
that's the GG.
We had one in Australia and it ended well, so don't panic, everybody.
That is true. That is true. However, if we have a second one, that's... Oh boy.
I wonder if Faster did the thing with the group blocking it, so only those signed can actually join the server.
Oh no. He did. He did.
He did. Oh, oh, spicy.
Wow. This could actually just be the whole thing with the timing board. We don't know. But that does mean we will be having a restart.
Wonder. It is very close to the start of the race, so I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to do a full race restart.
Funny thing. Lap 3 again.
Lap 3 again. The server just doesn't like lap 3. Server, for some unknown reason, just has something against lap 3.
It's either that or, well, to be fair, I don't think actually, no, you're right. It could have something to do with the laps. That is true. However, if it has to do with timing, that kind of seems impossible due to the fact that Australia and Suwon times are completely different in terms of lap times.
That is a good point. Guess we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. People are saying don't get the DNF back in. Well, that means that Professor Bloxer wouldn't be able to rejoin the race. I did
Well,
press
we'll
the
see
replay
about
button.
that. I mean, we did
wonder
3
if I did
laps, so
catch
we
the
might be
replay.
just starting. We might just be starting from 24 laps at the very
I think
beginning
I
and
did
going
catch
off
the
of how it
replay.
was.
Oh, look at this. Going round turn 1. Oh, there goes East. Oh, there goes Professor Bloxer into the wall. Oh, that was fantastic.
At least East was able to catch it, though.
Oh dear. Let's just leave it to it. I'm going to see if I can find the pause replay button real quick so I can actually pause it. There we go, going round turn 2. And woof. Let's pause it there. There we go.
Yeah, and then we might... Did you ever get the one where Miggy had the slip up on that turn as well?
No, I didn't get a replay of that. I wasn't looking at Mickey then. For some reason, somebody decided to get into a Formula 2 car.
A whole team of them, and by the looks of it, I think that might be the X21 team.
Or the XX21 team. XX21 team, that's a tongue twister.
I can't tell what team this is.
Evangelion or whatever they're called.
Yeah,
now.
Evangelion livery. But I can't... Oh, here we are. Evangelion team. Oh, it's Echo. It's ZR. This is the team that Eastlighters owns, I think.
The second one.
Yes.
I swear, like, half of Formula 2 is now double teams. Yeah, it is, because you've got 2 Audi teams, you've got 2 Craig teams, and now you've got 2 Zecco teams. So half of the Formula 2 field is double teams.
That is true.
At least it gives lots of people ample
So
opportunity.
it's understandable then that they made a rule about regarding that for F1.
Yeah.
I'm hearing from Critical Noob that Miggy did a DNF.
Hmm.
But I thought he only slipped up. That's interesting. Yeah, no. I think he had his information wrong. So yeah, I believe Professor Blockshaw was the only DNF for this race.
Goody goody. Which you can see on your screen as we are paused on the replay of Professor Bloxer forgetting what Term 1 is.
Alright, so disconnect standings. In results, he has said that DNS will not be racing, so that means Professor Bloxer is out of the race.
Oh, we're restarting
For
for
at least
lap
now.
3.
Yes, we are.
That's very interesting. So that is going to be 420 Merc music, starting from pole position.
Hopefully he gets a good launch and continues that.
Yeah. I was, to be honest, I was very surprised to see 420 Merc music make it up to the lead so quickly. I know that 420 Merc is definitely got the pace for good points, but I never expected them to make their way up to the lead in 2 laps.
Well, Merc Music is pretty good with pace. We've seen how good he is in GT3. He's just putting those skills to F1 at this time.
Yeah, and F1 you get more downforce, you get higher speeds.
Better DRS slipstream. Actually,
Well,
you have DRS slipstream.
you actually get DRS.
GT3. Plus, if I remember correctly, there were more wet races in F1 than there were GT3 last season.
I don't even know if we had a wet race in GT3. Didn't really
I don't
pay
think we
attention,
did.
to be honest.
I saw a message in the YouTube stream saying low-key Ion F1 needs to add Monaco. Yeah, right.
We have France, it's better, it's bigger.
It's not bigger.
Well, it's wider, the track is, so it's better.
And we also have Italy.
Not anymore. We did.
Oh, that's a good point. Actually, what are the tracks this time? Oh yeah, we still haven't seen what, let's see what we got here. We haven't seen the Hungarian one, the American one, and we got a new Qatar one and Dubai one. Actually, no, Dubai's not new. I take that back. So the only really new ones are going to be Hungarian, American, and Qatar.
Yeah. It'll be the
The rest we've
third.
already seen.
It'll be the third time we've raced in Qatar. Raced in Qatar in season 1 and season 2, but those were on the old, not Blender-made tracks, so they're a bit clunky.
But yeah, we won't be seeing Japan. We won't be seeing Mexico. We won't be seeing. What other ones are we missing? There's one more we should be missing. Oh yeah, no Italy.
If anyone is sad to not see Japan in F1 though, don't cry, because it will be making a star appearance in Formula E. It'll just be a bit of a more condensed version of the track, getting rid of the long bits that are a bit slower for Formula E cars, just keeping the tight and twisty bits.
That sounds good.
For those of you just joining us, we did have a server disconnect earlier. And as you can see here on our fabulous race control graphic, the race restart will be happening from lap 3 positions.
Seems as though we got 21 people on the grid at the moment. We saw on the I saw on the results that there were 23 people, but Professor was a DNF, so it should be 22. So does that mean there was a person who didn't race? That's interesting. Or I might have just been missing something. But at the moment we have 22 people on the grid, so that should be everybody.
Kaikar is just reversing into their grid spot.
We still am not sure what lap we're starting on, whether that be 25, 24, 23.
Everyone being told to get off the grid. Oh, 420 Mac Music isn't on the grid.
Oh, I heard that British was actually saying that he was having problems getting his car spawned. But, yeah, it seems as though he got it set up now.
And Low Midday wasn't on the grid. Didn't even notice. It's not that
Oh,
good, really.
no, I didn't notice either. What place is he going to be starting in? He'll be starting in 12th, so he was able to gain 4 positions off of his qualifying.
Very good for Aerock, considering they only have one car in this race. So do Aston Martin, but Aerock started with one car, Aston Martin started with 2.
And you also have Craig that only has 1 car.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Craig.
And not only that, but it's a reserve driver.
They lost Castronics.
Oh shit, that's right. Lost it to the Ion Bad Boys.
I had respect for Cast up until that moment, I will be honest.
I think everybody did, honestly. Seeing 2 missing grid positions. Not sure who they're for, though. Oh, I see. Doug for Fleet. Oh yeah, I don't see him on the grid. I don't see him on the leaderboard either, so that means one of the Fleet drivers is missing. Coretta's off the grid all of a sudden. He might be respawning his car. Yep, there he is. Oh, no, I see now. It seems as though Real Rick Astley... Oh, okay, I see. So Real Rick Astley's going to be taking over for Doug? Or we just didn't catch him on the leaderboard?
Oh, Doug
Either one.
isn't here, I don't think. Real Rick Astley was driving at the start of the race.
So Decker's going to move up. He should be right behind Alex with Brandstar. Who else are we missing? I think that's everybody. Yeah. That's us just getting the grid reset, and then we'll be good to go. We're also missing a place on the 6th position. Oh, no, he's good now. That's going to be East.
Fell back by 4 positions.
Well, depending on your launch and how well you can hold the track, it's not too bad. Could have been 10th.
Good point.
But speaking of that, Landstroid was in 10th in qualifying. He's going to be in 11th. Power Unit's in 10th now, which is surprising. Because he's in 10th and Kakera's in 5th, and we remember how they placed in the qualifying. So if there was any argument as to whether Kakera and Power Unit can hold their own, I think that settles it.
Yeah.
At least for 3 laps.
Still seems like there's some Formula 2 cars spawned, which they'll want to not have.
Yeah, I'm going to see what that's about real quick.
Everyone being told to jump out and jump back in. Seems like 420 Merc just managed to get themselves respawned. Very intelligent.
What happened?
420 Merc Music managed to get respawned. I'm not sure whether they're respawning the car or what.
Not sure, but that's gonna really ruin it since guys
car's
did
still on the
jump in
grid.
and out.
You can see it there.
Well, in that case,
Matt.
I'll hold it in place until he gets back.
Oh, he's
Alright, there he is. That's 21 people on the grid, actually. Is that correct? I believe it is. Yes. Okay, we're good to go.
So, as the lights come on, that's 4 lights. That becomes 5 lights. And we're off and away again
And
in
we're off.
Korea. Let's look at the midfield there, just moving across now to the racing line. Going down into turn 1, 420 Merc Music still seems to hold the lead, but Fernan is right on their tail in the Aston Martin. Now going through turn 2. Bit of a gap already to the McLaren behind of Critical Noob. Now coming down the hill.
Look at that inside cut from Mark Music, taking it away from Fernan.
Coming through turn 3, very tight corner, lots of people going wide. There's too many cars to count,
Ooh, Lord.
although notable ones would have been that BMW just there, who had to go to the escape road. They went off so far, and Power Unit had to take to the curbs in the KR racing car. Coming down the back straight, DRS open for pretty much everyone apart from the leader.
And here they come down the chicane, starting DRS zone 2. Oh, there is a crash! That was Miggy! Miggy!
Real Miggy is out!
That was our very first crash of the day. We've almost had a Red Star crash out too. Cool plug alt taking a spin off that chicane, but he was able to hold it. So yeah, that is another DNF.
no.
Real Miggy has DNF'd. From pole position to a DNF in this race. That is
And
completely
officially only
heartbreaking.
4 laps.
Hang on a second. Who's that on the far back I see?
That would be...
Looks like a McLaren driver.
Aviaton Chad.
Aviation Chad in last place.
Little blip.
Had a bit of personal lag there. Didn't know if that was all the way around.
I think that was everyone, because it just froze for me for a second there. And, oh, there's a BMW. Which BMW is that? They just went off slightly. Was that Fernanjaster? I believe
Almost gave me a heart
Fenenjaster...
attack. I thought that was a crash.
No, Fenenjaster just dived off...
Spin! Spin! East Slider's taking a slide at the east.
Living up to his name. East Slider sliding around Korea. No, I believe because Fenenjaster's just fallen back by a lot of positions in the BMW. They went really wide out of the final corner. I thought they were going to crash into the pit lane barrier for a second, but they did manage to make their way back onto the track as Dancer Hajek has the fastest lap.
Well, that sounds good. Now Dancer Hajek's going to be able to do some stuff for Audi. He doesn't want 420 Merc Music taking all the spotlight today. And here we go. DRS to chicane. Who's going to be the next one that falls victim? Oh, it was almost Airrock. It was almost Airrock. Low midday getting a bit of a swerve. He's going to fall back a bit.
Oh, Apollo Struck was just running on the curbs there. Looked a little bit dangerous, a little bit sketchy.
A lot of people taking the outside area of that sharp turn after DRS zone 2. Oh, that's another little bit of a spin for a KRR driver. I think that was Kakara. Yeah, he's going to fall back a bit.
Still running in the midfield, though.
Right up front, you got an Audi, a Brandstar, and another Audi, yeah. And McLaren, that's trying to fight for it as well. I think that's going to be Critical Noob. Kakara getting his bearings back.
Critical Noob.
What lap are we on?
Coming on lap 2 of 24 to go. Matt around the outside of Critical Noob. Matt goes into the pits. Are people going for inters already?
I think so. Or maybe they're just realizing that they need to start getting that set up early due to the fact that we are now on 20% rain. So, like I said, with the rain weather, it's going to be interesting to see how strategies start changing.
Yes, that's Matt onto the inters. Who else pitted? Pretty much half the field. However, 420 Merc Music is chancing it out front.
There's a spin! It's an Airrock! Oh, low midday, he's backwards. He's still intact, but he's going backwards off of that second turn, and he's going to have to get so much time back.
Gonna have to get the time back and go all the way around the track again to switch onto the intermediate compound of tyres, as I think everyone ahead... Hang on, let me just see correct. Oh no, maybe not. Pretty much everyone from
25.
P10 upwards, I think, currently running slicks, and Jogsy spun.
That's an E-Spirit. His car's still intact though, he can still race. Thank goodness. That was close.
Very close indeed. Has Critical Noob taken the lead? It's kind of hard to see. 420 Merc has fallen back, so they must have lost something. Critical Noob's managed to make his way up into the lead. What happened to 420 Merc Music? They're falling all the way back down to P5 now. 4.9 seconds behind the leader.
I think they should have put on those intermediates. What do you think?
I think that the top 10 or so, top 10 or so have chanced it, staying out on slicks for one more crash.
Oh, that is another crash. Alex, the reserve driver for Brandstar, crashed out on that flat chicane at the beginning of DRS Zone 2. That is another driver out.
Indominus Rex has come into the pits. Critical Noob, crucially, staying out on slick tyres. Are you a madman?
It's Critical Noob?
Critical Noob is staying out.
Oh, I see him. He's going cross turn 2 right now. What's he gonna do?
It's Lance Droid switching on to some nice, not slick tyres. The intermediate, the lighter wet compound. But Critical Noob, 10 seconds ahead of P2, which is Hilltecker on the inters.
Hilltecker is on P2 for Red Star?
Yeah.
Now that's something I didn't think I'd hear.
I wonder if the Red Star crew decided to bring in Hilltecker a lap earlier than the 10 that boxed. I wonder whether boxing earlier was able to give them this incredible strategy. Maybe they started on inters. I didn't even notice, but Hilltech has managed to make their way up into P2. Maybe they started on inters and then didn't have to pit.
Maybe. I wasn't able to actually check that myself. But Hilltecker is going to be in P2. However, to be fair, it's still, 3-6 laps into the race, so anything can still happen as we start seeing a couple drivers catching up
Oh,
to him.
critical
That's gonna be
noob running
Kara
out wide
and
a little
Matt.
bit.
Kara and Matt aren't too far behind him, though, so he's going to have to pick up the pace a little bit. He's only going to be able to hold on that second position for what, 30 seconds before they start getting on him?
Yeah, it's going to be very close indeed. I wonder if critical noob will come into the pits this lap.
I'm not sure. They might be starting to realize something's going on with their tires, as we are now 30% track weather.
Oh, you're going to have to come in, critical noob. You're going to have to come in, and finally the
There
McLaren
it is.
does. He's going to be, oh my god, past P8 at least.
Hilltecker's now in the lead. First time ever I'm seeing a red star in front.
Oh, nobody would have expected that. Kaikara purple sector 3 on intermediate tyres.
Oh no, I don't think it's gonna last long. Red Star, you better hold on to it as long. Oh no, Kakara!
Kaikara's sliding. Oh, it's so close for the Red Star. How long are Red Star going to be in the lead of the Korean Grand Prix here at the Suwon
give it
International
another 5
Circuit?
seconds.
Oh,
another 5
who's going to
seconds.
get an exit out of here? Here comes Matt in the Brand Star, absolutely storming down this back straight here. The number 28 car. Oh, catching up. Inside, is he going to pass the Red Star? Oh, it's so hard to see because of the vision lag. Car number 28 versus car number 54. Oh, it's so close, but I do think Matt Yes has gotten into the lead by just 3/10. Hilltecker's now falling down for Red Star.
The chicane. Will the chicane cause anything? No, they're gonna go through that clean as butter.
Oh, now it's currently second for Hilltecker. How long is that going to last? Wouldn't be surprised if it's not for long, but for a moment there, you saw a
here they
Red
come.
Star in the lead.
The first time ever I think I've ever seen a Red Star in the lead. And just think, if Matt was still in Red Star, you would have been seeing him in the lead a lot longer.
Exactly.
How are we doing on the chicane, though? Any takers?
Don't think so. Power
Nope,
unit
seems as
still
though everybody-
running. Power unit has crashed
Everybody's-
2 less times than they did last weekend.
Seems as though everybody's still running pretty well. Here we go. Will Kakara be able to make a pass?
Kaikara is now ahead of the Red Star.
Yep, Hilltecker's now in third position, and they got the Aston Martin and Zint right behind him as well. So if anything,
Still a
he's
good 2
losing
seconds
some...
though. Still a good 2 seconds.
Still a good 2 seconds, yes. However, if anything, this turn could be the difference of that.
Indominus Rex has taken the fastest lap.
Wow, an E-Spirit driver. And I think Akira's about to make that pass off this next DRS zone.
It's so tight. Who's going to get the DRS? Neither of them.
It might... Yeah, I was about to say, if it's that close, it might be neither of them. But Kakara might be able to get those gear shifts a little faster.
Oh, here comes the spray. For me, it looks like Kaikara's in the
Hang on a
lead.
second.
But on the timings,
Where are
Kaikara's
they?
still behind by 33 thousandths of a second.
He went onto the curbs. Was that the play?
Oh, and there's a BMW car in the middle of the track.
Oh, whoa, that is a BMW driver. I didn't even notice that.
There's a BMW out. I'm not sure which BMW that
Okay.
was. It was either
Well,
Apollo
luckily,
Struck.
he is
I think
on-
it was Apollo Struck.
He's on the inside of that exit, so nobody's going to hit him unless they take a really weird line. But they do still need to get that driver off the track. Oh, I just saw a BMW still in the race, so we'll be able to see who that was.
I believe it was
That's
Apollo
Finn and
Struck who was
Jester
out.
Still, yeah, that is Apollo Struck. Finn and Jester is still in the race.
As Kaikara is officially taking the lead by 0.4 of a second for KR Racing. Boy, starting
Where are
so
they?
far
There
down
they
on the
are.
grids, already taking the lead on what would have been lap 9.
Yeah, but they're still holding it. I mean, they're still really close, so we'll see how that handles. But East Sliders, I think that's now only a second behind them.
This race is incredibly close. 10 seconds separates the top 8, 20 separates the top 12, with Power Unit gaining positions in the other KR Racing car.
It's looking interesting now. Ooh, they're close again. Matt's still not being able to make that pass, though. But if anything, East Sliders might be able to make something of this. However, I think he is a little too far away to start getting that slipstream.
Critical Noob has taken the fastest lap.
Where is Critical? Is he in what, about
P10.
P8 now? Ooh, P10. I mean, he's still got some time.
Came out
Oh my goodness.
just ahead of Power Unit.
Renstar and KR are on both sides of the track off that DRS, but it seems as though Matt's going to try and get that slipstream. He is right behind Kakera. How are they going to take this turn into DRS zone 2, though?
Matt goes a little bit wide, takes a little bit of a different line.
That is a special approach for both of those drivers. Oh, but E-Slider's starting to catch up. That it is! Matt just passed him!
Matt just passed him, but is it going to say so on the timings tower? All turns, all depends how they're going to go into Sector 2. Oh,
he's going to hold it. Close. He's going to hold it. Oh, or maybe not. Oh, you know
but he takes the tighter line. Kakera takes the wider line, but that turns it into the tighter line.
They're just neck and neck. There's nothing to be said.
It's so difficult to see, but Matt takes the lead by 0.4 of a second. It's just flipped out, and Kakera is sliding.
Kakera in the grass.
Kakera just slides.
Oh, I love racing.
It's so close. It's impossible to tell, but Kakera has fallen back slightly. Matt has the lead of the Korean Grand Prix.
How are we doing for track? Oh, we are already at 45. We are at 45%.
Oh, we might be seeing some switches to wet soon. Let's see if I did catch the replay.
No. I think 45 is a perfect percentage for those intermediates. You're not going to be seeing wets coming in until like about 60%, I believe. However, we will be seeing the track dry out soon. Sometime during this race, this track will start drying out, and they might switch back to those other compounds.
Okay, looking at the replay, you can see it there. Kakera sliding out. Oh, so close.
But that still means he gets the slipstream off the DRS zones, so he might be able to make something of that. And not only that, but East has been starting to make a comeback as well. He's right behind Kakera.
Only, what's that, about 1 second between them two cars now. East Slider's going a little bit wide out of that corner there, now into the chicane. Quick right, quick left. So hard to slide out. Kakera going over the bump.
There it is. East is going to try and make the pass off this turn. Will he be able to get it, though? Oh, he slips a bit, which means he's going to fall behind. But Kakera also went on the outside, and East, I think, is about to be making that pass. It's hard to tell because of the lines they're taking, but it seems as though he's still trying to grip for that second position, but he has not gotten it yet. But if Kakera makes any more turns into that grass, then East will be able to take advantage of that. And I think he is. It's still hard to tell. Ooh, Matt just went into the grass. That might make him lose a bit of time. As for everybody else, I think they're still running cleanly. No wrecks to report as of yet, unless somebody had a fast one. Sorry, I can't see everywhere at once, even though I'm a helicopter.
Even though I'm a helicopter. Oh, the gap is so close now between this not East Spirit, this East Sliders and the Kakera.
Oh, hang on a second. Kakera just getting a boost of speed off of that. He's right behind Matt again. And so is East. This is a fight for first. This is a three-way fight for first.
It's so close.
This is the McQueen, Chick Hicks, and King fight of our era. The real question is, who is who?
Well, East Sliders is the Toyota. It's like a pinky red. So, are we going to say? I'm thinking more of the fact that Kakera is the king because he's the one that everybody's trying to run for. If anything, I think Matt's going to be the Lightning McQueen because he's the rookie compared to the others. Oh, East Sliders is sliding, living up to his name again. Still in contention for that position though. Kakera has to run wide. Kakera has to run over the curb.
He's been running wide multiple times. I wonder what's going on. That one corner, he's been running wide a lot of times. Maybe that's some kind of line that he's found that is actually faster. Let's start looking at the rest of the grid, though. I'm seeing a bit of a fight between Critical Noob and an Audi. I think that might be a 420.
That's 420. Indominus Rex is also in that battle. You've also got the other Audi of Dazajek right at the trailing edge of that battle. Just poking his nose in every now and again.
A lot of these other ones are not really battles. They're just kind of back in the back. I'm seeing Low Midday taking on DRS Zone 2. He's about to be finishing it. He's right in behind Aviation, Chad?
Yeah.
What position is Low Midday in?
P18. I'm supposed to P17, but they have just switched.
What happened? I mean, saw that slip up right off of turn 2. What caused him to get that far behind?
I don't know. Just not Airrock's day.
Which is sad, because I know this is the one that Skyduel was trying to get.
As Hilltecker comes into the pits again from intermediate tyres. Are they going to wets already? Let's have a look. No, onto another set of inters. Maybe
looks
they
like
just drained that
out.
intermediate tyre so much they had to switch to another one.
Yeah, we've been seeing so many laps take place right now, so we might start seeing some people start changing those intermediates. They might be starting to wear out by now. Maybe. I don't know. They're the first one to do it, so I can't really say that for the rest of the grid. I can't say that for the rest of the grid, but if they're starting to think so, then how many other teams are going to start thinking that? Take a drink.
Gap between Kaikera and Matt has expanded, but still a small mistake from Kaikera will lose that first position for the Croatian.
Talking about that, a small mistake from Matt's going to lose that P2, and a small mistake from P1, P2, P3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or at least maybe 5 seconds between each other. So
one
honestly,
small mistake can see you losing so many positions.
Yeah, it is just a train between these top 10 at the moment. But it seems as though Kakera is going to get a bit of a boost of speed off of that, and just be able to get at least a half a second ahead of the rest of the group. Hang on a second, I'm seeing a bit of a fight between Coretta and Jogsy. What position are they in?
Fernand's come into the pits.
Fernand's in the pits, Aston Martin now in the pits. Looks like they're going to keep a safe and careful race after what they saw Professor Bloxer holding. Also, what position is Fern and Jaster and Coretta in?
Fern
and Jaster. Or actually not Finn and Jaster, I take that back. Jogsy and Coretta.
P13 and P14. Just had a good look there.
Bit of a fight between them at the moment. Alright. Kara, East, and Matt are going to be going across the chicane to DRS Zone 2. We've seen so many slip-ups here. But it seems as though they're going to hold it. Hang on a second, that's DRS. Going in the grass. Critical Noob going in the grass. He really wants those positions. He's in P4. We're trying to catch up with the rest of the group. Not only that, but we have both Audis neck and neck.
No. I thought East just slid out then. My eyes were tricking me.
Nope, I don't think that was him.
So close between the Toyota and the Brandstar.
How many drivers do we still have on the grid? Low Midday's gone? Low Midday's out of the race.
Low Midday must have disconnected at some point, and we just didn't notice it.
Might have. As of now, it seems as though only 16 drivers are on the racetrack. Oh, wait, no, 17.
There's Cool Plug on.
Cool Plug's still out there. So now 17 of the 24 drivers we started out with. Hang on a second, I see a BMW. Oh, I think I know what happened.
Wow.
I think Low Midday crashed in the pit lane. Because I am seeing a front wing right on that pit entry. And not only that, but oh, hang on a second. Yeah, Low Midday's car's right on the grid. Like, he is on the starting grid.
Oh.
So this must have been recent.
This must have been very recent. Not sure whether that requires a yellow flag. It is off of the track, but it is right at the exit.
It is in the grass, so as long as somebody doesn't slide off of that exit, they should be fine. But if somebody does crash into it, they will be stuck on the track. So that is something to keep in mind. But as you can see in that pit entry, you can see his front wing. So I'm not sure exactly how it happened. We might be able to see a replay of that from somebody else's point of view. Oh, there's a spin off of turn 2. That's going to be Dancer.
Off the track, rejoining the track. Now behind power unit, so dropping by at least 6 positions there for the Audi.
Wait a second. What happened? I'm seeing a driver falling behind. Where? Wait a second. Something's not right here. I'm seeing Kakera. I'm seeing Critical Noob. I'm seeing East. Did Matt pit for new tires?
Oh, East is going again. I got it wrong. It looked like East was going round. My eyes keep tricking me.
Where did Matt go? Did he pit for new tires? Oh,
I'm
there
not
he
sure.
is. I
Matt's
see
down
him
to
right
P7,
in front of
20.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt is sliding slightly. 26 seconds now.
So yeah, I think Fernand and Matt both did some pits for new tires. We'll see if Kakera, Critical, and East do the same for this one. Yep, there it is. Kakera now going for new tires, Critical not, and East not. So Critical and East are going to hold the tires they got at the moment, and they are going to be your P1 and P2. As for the rest of the grid, they're going to start catching up to those two. Hang on a second. Yep, we got an E-Spirit now pitting.
That would be Indominus Rex.
The Others driver going out without pitting. I
So
believe
that's
that is
now
Lance Droid.
that's now a 2-3 for Toyota.
And Kakera is now out of the pits, right behind Matt. So when are East and Critical Noob going to do their next pit?
We'll just have to wait and see. They may have been waiting. It depends how much tyre life that their intermediates have. If they can wait longer than Kaikara, they may be able to get an overcut. Or if it just drops off and at a cliff now, just goes straight down, maybe Kaikara will be able to get an undercut and get a time advantage by pitting earlier. We'll just have to wait and see how it unfolds at the end of the race. But for the first 16 laps or so, it has been absolutely frantic, including a race restart, as East Sliders just runs wide there.
Oh, Aviation Chat having some problems as Critical Noob is
Power unit is disconnected, so is Aviation Chat.
Oh, Lord. So that means KR is disconnected, McLaren's disconnected.
So now only one car remaining for KR Racing and McLaren. That will be Critical Noob and Kaikara, as Power Unit and Aviation Chad have disconnected from this race. The top 15 are now the only cars racing.
This is going to be interesting. And we're going to see if Critical Noob and E-Slider do go for those pits. Maybe they're waiting to see how the weather changes. Because if it starts drying up, they might start going for the different compounds. But no, they're just going to hold out, I guess. I wonder how their tires are doing. And right behind them is going to be Lance Droid. Matt and Kakera are catching up. That's going to be them in P4, P5, I believe. Fernand right behind them, and right behind them, Spinninjaster.
Fernand's doing a pretty good job for Aston Martin, considering that they lost Professor Bloxer at the start of the race. So, high-profile drivers are out. We've had Professor Bloxer at the start of the race, who's good. Go midday has crashed out and then subsequently disconnected. They've done pretty well in the past. Got a podium in Australia. Power Unit has done well in...
Well, I mean, think about it. We've just been seeing a lot of different changes, and Suwon's always been a track that's caught people off guard. Professor Bloxer, yeah, he's going to be out of there, but Fernand's just holding his own. Like, he didn't need Professor Bloxer in order to do good here. They do good on their own, individually.
Yeah, it's just nice to see teammates being able to recover good points when someone has disconnected or DNF'd due to their own mistakes.
Fernand's going to do his best to hold the torch for Professor Bloxer in order to get his car across the line at least, so they can get at least one resource point. Oh! Critical Noob having a bit of a slip-up. East is going to take full advantage of that, and East is now your first place.
So,
will he hold it?
A Zeko car leading an F1 Grand Prix. Critical Noob very, very close behind, though. The nose is on the diffuser of the car ahead, so don't count Critical Noob out. I think that anyone
not only
with
that, Lance Droid's in that P3 fight at the moment as well, even though he is in the far back of it. E-Sliders is going to be pitting, and so is Critical Noob.
Oh, Lance Droid goes wide. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyone in the top 6, 7, 8 maybe have a chance of winning this race.
Lance Droid did a bit of a cheeky cut off of that second to last turn, but he's also going to be going into the pits.
So that means Kaikara will be taking the lead once again.
Will East and Critical Noob be able to get those positions back is the question. How many laps do we have left?
Critical
We still
Noob
have a
has
half
gone
race.
to hards.
Critical Noob going to hards. Looks like he doesn't want to do another pit today.
Critical Noob onto slicks. What's he sliders on? Is he sliders on slicks? He's sliding. He's sliding. His slider's gone for slicks too. Only one pit to enters for these two.
He's having a bit of trouble holding those tires, though. We are now on 35% rain. We're starting to see the track dry up now, which means that these... Hang on a second. That's actually a good question. What are the other drivers on in the lead? Are they still on intermediates?
Kaikara is on intermediate. Matt is on intermediate. Fernand's on intermediates. East and Critical are the only two cars at the moment on slick tyres. So they've gambled, and they've gambled hard. I told you.
That's exactly what they were doing. They were waiting. They were waiting to see if the track was going to dry up before they could do a pit.
Oh.
And now that they now have the upper hand.
Oh, it's going to come crushing down on these top five soon, because when they need to pit, they're going to be right in the window of Critical Noob and East Sliders.
This is what they were hoping for. They held out, and it was beneficial for them, as we are slowly seeing this track water depreciate. We are now at 30%, and soon we'll be at 20%, which is when those other compounds are going to be being of more use.
Yeah, slicks are only really effective 20% or lower.
Kakara's going to hold those tires. So is Matt. So is
Matt! Matt's
gonna crash!
Matt's out of the race!
Matt has crashed. He's out. Which means Kakara's going to hold it. He is on the track, though, so that is going to have to be a yellow flag. That is a yellow flag. All right, he's off the track. We are back to green.
Oh, my.
That is Brandstar completely out now. They were holding a second position for a lot of the race, and now it's completely gone.
No points for Brandstar. Again?
Again.
Very sorry, Shea.
It's fine. It happens. But now we can see what happens with the rest of these drivers, as we still have a good amount of laps left to go.
Yeah, Indominus Rex has managed to make their way up to P2. Fernand now up to P3, so it could be the first E-Spirit podium of the season. First E-Spirit podium since Dubai last season.
Seems like Kakara just lapped a Red Star driver at the moment.
That would be cool plug ult.
Do you think Kakara's going to finally pit? I mean, we are now at 20%. This would be the perfect time for him to actually do a pit, as everybody else is kind of far behind now.
I think the KR Racing engineers are going to be looking at the timing display right now, because Critical Noob and East Sliders have both just fallen to 25 seconds behind the leader respectively. That is literally to the second the amount of time it takes to get into the pits and out again without being overtaken. So I'm not sure whether KR Racing are going to hold Kaikara out for one more lap to see if that gap gets bigger, or if they're going to pit now.
What position are they in at the moment?
Critical Noob is P3, East Sliders is P4.
Then that's fine. That's perfectly fine, because that's the position they are in from what I can tell. So yeah, that probably should be 20 seconds, because there is a bit of a long pit lane, to be fair. Because right now, Indominus is going to be Indominus is going to be pitting as well, which means E-Sliders and Critical Noob are going to start taking advantage of those tires. But Kakara is coming out of the pits now.
Kaikara is in the lead.
I don't think they're going to be able to catch up in time.
Kaikara goes to mediums. Eastern Critical are on hards. Kaikara has the tire advantage.
For how many laps? 7, 8 laps? Are those mediums going to be able to hold them that long?
I think they have a good chance of holding them.
Oh, East is going outside. A little bit on that light green section. They are too far away to get advantage off the DRS for Kakara. They are still at least a good 3 seconds behind. And it seems as though the gap's getting even larger.
Track water now at 10%.
So yeah, intermediates are supposed to be getting off the track at the moment, at least for people who are trying to get an advantage.
This is a very good race for Kaikara.
Very good at the moment. This is like Sue won last season, you know?
Yeah.
He's just pushing it as hard as he can. Horrible qualifying track record, but I mean, he's in P1 right now, and from what I can tell, he's going to hold on to it.
I might have to look at making some new race or driver I can't say the word. Statistics graphics.
However, it seems as though Fernand's going to try and make a pass on Critical Noob and E-Sliders. You can see him right there in P4, right behind them. Let's check out the rest of this teams. Fen and Jaster and Landstroid having a bit of a fight right behind one of the E-Spirit drivers. I think that might be Indominus. How many people do we still have on the track?
Only 13.
So we started with 24.
Oh, Critical Noob just took the fastest lap. Fernand's just taken it back. Or not back, but Fernand has just taken it away from Critical Noob. So Critical Noob held the fastest lap for about 3 seconds.
Well,
Track order is now down to 5%.
I mean, Critical Noob had a fastest lap beforehand, didn't he not?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I think he did, yeah. I mean, not for very long, to be fair. Huh. Okay, so... yeah, it's still a very big gap between P2, P3, P4 when it comes to Kakera. As Kakera is now going across the chicane for DRS Zone 2. He's holding it. Ooh, I say that, and then he does a bit of a slide, making everybody's heart stop.
We want Kaikara to win this again. Did win last race, but it would be great to see Kaikara win again, because Kaikara hasn't won in Ion for a very long time, since like Japan season 1 or something. I can't remember. It was a stupid long time ago.
I just saw Crate going through every single bump of turn 2 back in the field of view. Alright. Looks like they're able to catch up a little bit. Critical Noob and E-Sliders are actually catching up a bit. I'm not sure if it'll be enough. E-Sliders going into the grass off of that turn. And here comes Kakera about to start the next lap. What lap are we on now? We are on lap 19 of 24. Kakera taking the fastest lap, but will the others be able to take that as well? Yep, Critical Noob just took it. Fernand just took it because he has 3 purple sectors. He is flying.
Fernand is so close to that McLaren. And Fernand can easily take P2.
He could easily take podium at this rate. I think that's not even a question. But, you know, they gotta hold these. They have to hold this. Because it's 19 to 24. We have about 6 laps left. As long as they can hold out for 6 laps, they'll be good. But I'm not sure what Kakera was thinking with the mediums. Is he going to be able to hold those tires for as long as he can? When are those hards going to start showing wear? Because they if they put on those tires at least maybe 2 laps before Kakera pit, maybe 1.
Well, Kaikara, because Kaikara boxed later, he had the option of putting medium tires on. However, the other cars didn't. So East and Critical went to hard. So with East just set a purple sector 1.
What about the rest of them? Actually, no. I see East kind of catching up with the rest of them as well. He looks to be trying to make a pass on Critical. And he did. Although I'm not sure how long it'll hold. I'm seeing a lack of other drivers on the track. It's kind of weird only having 13 drivers now. It leaves a lot of the rest of the track kind of empty.
Yeah. East now has the fastest lap of the race.
Will he be able to do something with it? Actually, I take that back. He already has. He's now in P3. He was able to get the pass on Critical Noob.
Oh, but Critical Noob is inside of that Toyota. Is it going to turn into anything?
Is he going to get the DRS?
Oh, but East and Critical both have DRS. Fernand doesn't. Fernand was just weaving to try and get them 2 cars out of the Aston Martin slipstream. So
what I find interesting is the fact that Kakera is going to have no slipstream, but if these 3 keep switching up
Oh,
places.
Kaikara might get Cool Plug Alt slipstream actually on that, because Kaikara is approaching Cool Plug Alt.
But will he be able to get DRS off of a lap driver is a question.
I think so, because I think it just measures if you're a second behind any driver.
Goodness, look at those three. They're neck and neck.
Because it's local, I think. Like we saw earlier, two drivers, or I can't remember who it was, but someone was like definitely within a second, but they didn't get DRS because of vision lag. They appeared to be ahead, so it's on the local machine. So I don't know whether that has a factor in it or something. I'm not that intelligent.
Man, look at those three in P2 through P4. They are close together as heck. Like, I can't tell who's in the lead right now.
I think you just saw them like it just looks like a train. Oh my days! 4.033 seconds, 4.1 seconds, 4.133 seconds. A tenth separates P2 to P4.
Well, like I said, Rubben's racing.
East Slide is ahead in that battle. Then is Fernan. Then it's Critical. So let's see who opens up the DRS. Only Critical gets DRS.
Oh, Kikara's going to get that slipstream, and he's going to be able to make the pass on the lap driver.
Kaikara does get DRS from a lapsed car, so Kaikara's going to have a massive pace advantage here with no one ahead of him on the timing screen.
Well, they're close. I'd say that's a good 2 seconds.
3.766 for Fernan, 3.9 for Critical, 3.9 for East. So Critical and East are currently sharing that last podium position.
This is a battle for wits at this moment. Like, people are going to start getting a little risky at this rate in order to get those positions. And if something doesn't go right for them, they're going to hit the wall. And I say that, and East has a bit of a grind on that wall going down that hill.
Oh, three wide through the S's there. East just went onto the grass a little bit.
We are on lap 21 and 24, about to do lap 22 and 24. We have 3 laps left in this race. Will they be able to make something of that is the question.
They're going to need a second lap.
We are also seeing another fight, Indominus Rex and 420 Merc Music behind them. I'm not exactly sure what position they are in. I can't see the leaderboard.
P5 and
However,
P6.
it does seem like they're going to be... Yeah, it seems like they're going to be doing a bit of fighting themselves. Other than that, the other fight I could see is maybe Coretta and Indominus, or sorry, Jogsy.
Track Water, for those of you interested, has now just hit 0%.
Which means if somebody's on the intermediates, I feel really bad for them. Oh, look at that. Red Star's trying to fight with them, not realizing he's been lapped.
Oh.
But he is going to get the slipstream off of them, so he will be able to at least get a little bit off of them. If anything. I mean, I can't tell how far back he is.
Well, you can just see how bad
at least a good
Cool Plug Alt. It seems like they've just got like a ton more drag on that Red Star. I have no clue what that could be, if that's set up or just a car with less resource points put onto it.
I mean, he's about 36 seconds behind the person ahead of him, so I'm not sure there's any chance of him unless somebody crashes. Then he'll be able to get P12 at least. But seeing as we only have about
just went onto the curb.
2 to 3 laps, we have only about 2 to 3 laps left in the race. So if we're going to see something happen, now's going to be the time, as we now are at least maybe 2 seconds between Kakara and those top 4.
Nearly 2 seconds for Fernan and Critical. East has fallen back to 4 seconds.
That's interesting. They're still keeping together pretty well. Although, with them keeping together so well, I'm wondering if Dirty Air is going to become a substantial issue.
That is one to
especially
think
with
about.
These turns, because we've seen East Sliders have some big problems with these turns, turn 1 and 2.
I think if they can just like stay so close to each other, because it's all of the aero stuff, like with DRS and like with Slipstream and stuff, it's all based off your local machine. If you're within that time on your screen, then you're gonna get all the effects and stuff. But because they're so close together, I think vision lag will be just displaying each driver ahead of everyone else. So I don't think they'd actually get any of like the aero penalties, if you can call it that. So I don't think dirty air will really affect them unless I think it's roughly like 3 or 4 tenths behind.
That's a good point, and since they are keeping together so well, then that won't be as much of an effect. However, if one of them starts falling behind, it might be more of an effect.
Thank you for Breezy for just subscribing, and to Derek YT, very, very, very thank you.
When Breezy, why didn't you do that ahead of time? I'm just kidding. Love you. Oh, hang on a second. I'm seeing a big fight between 420 and Indominus. They're actually neck and neck at the moment. I believe that's going to be, what, P6 and P7? Or, sorry, no, P5 and P6. I just forgot that Red Star is actually lapped.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Kai Kara now going to start the last lap of the race.
This is the last lap. And now we're going to see what happens. Oh, look at Critical Noob. He is catapulted right past East Sliders.
Oh, it's so close. This is going to, I tell you, this is going to go right down to the line.
Who's going to try and hit the grass and make a big mistake off of these turns is the real question.
I have no idea. Could be any of them. They're all, as you can see here, they're all very equal in performance right now. It's very equal in pace. So a mistake could go to any of them.
But Kakara's just chilling in that first place at the moment. They can't hold a candle to him. And here we go. They're going to do the turns to the chicane into DRS Zone 2. Will there be any problems? Oh, East Slider's falling back. Will he start getting some dirty air problems? No, he's going to hold it. Oh, no, Ferdinand! Ferdinand lost it a bit. He's going to fall behind. Come on, Ferdinand. Will you be able to get that podium position? This is it. This is your chance. This is your moment. This is the way to do it. This is the last chance for these drivers. Oh no, Critical going over the bumps. He's going to fall behind now.
Oh, come on.
Kakara's holding as hard as he can. They just got to cross the line. They just have to cross the line.
It's a second between second and fourth. It's 1 second. This could all change.
Is he going to get P2? He's just got to hold it. Just a little longer. A couple more turns. And here comes Kakara. Oh, taking it breezy. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Across the line. And taking P2. And taking P1. And then P2 is going to be East Sliders. Right behind him is going to be Ferdinand. And then Critical Noob taking P4. So that is going to be... And then we're going to have the Red Star that was lapped. Going to go across the line. And right behind him is going to be... Indominus. Indominus is going to take P5. And right behind him will be 420 Merc Music.
Wowee, Kai Kara wins another race, a second race in a row. So far has a 100% win record for this season. If you remember back to last season, Dakar by round 2 had a 100% win record. So could we be seeing a repeat of that performance for Kai Kara? I'm not going to try and predict anything because it can all change by the end of the season. But if Kai Kara can continue to have this absolutely astonishing race pace, I wouldn't be too surprised.
And notice we only had one disconnect before everything started working. Also,
Joxis is taken to the escape road.
And Finn and Jester's going to take 7th. Lanstroy going to take 8th. Coretta going to take 9th for Craig. And P10 will be Jogsy for E-Spirit.
Rounding out your points.
Top 10. And since we've had Cool Plug, I'll take the 13th. It'll see if Hill Tecker takes that 11th, and he will, which means Johnson 420 of the... What team is that?
Uprise.
I think that's going to be Uprise. Is going to take 12th. So no points for Uprise today. However, we're going to see KR taking that big... Going to take it big. Then you're going to have East Sliders taking 2nd, and then rounding off the podium will be Ferdinand for Aston Martin. So this is another win for ZR. Did ZR ever get a podium, now that I think about it? Did they ever get a podium last season?
I can't remember. Maybe. Nothing comes to mind, though.
Nothing comes to mind for me either. However, I don't know. Maybe they could have had one in Japan, but I can't be too sure. Maybe we'll be able to figure out if that's the case or not.
I know they have good race
other
pace
than
in
that,
Japan.
Ferdinand's gonna be able to hold it with the problems from Professor Blockster. So Ferdinand will be able to take that for a podium and get some good points off of that. Critical Noob for McLaren, getting them some good points as well, even though it won't be a podium. Indominus Rex and Joxy both getting points for eSpirit today. 420 Merc Music getting some points for Audi. Finn and Jaster for BMW, so both of the Audi and BMW teams are going to get some points. Lanstroid going to be getting more points for Zent, so Zent's going to get 2 on the top 10. Coretta for Craig going to get a few points for Craig, but it will be enough to get them ahead on the standings.
Joining us now in the commentary box for a cheeky quick interview, we have Project User, Power Unit, one of the KR drivers. Hello, are you there?
I am.
Hello.
What happened, Project?
Yeah, how does it feel to not finish the race?
How do I say this? It's the worst feeling when you crash out, not by the disconnect, but by your controller disconnecting.
Your controller disconnected?
I put on... Yeah, I put on the brakes at the first corner. Brakes normally fine. And as soon as I tried to put in steering, nothing happened, went straight on into the wall, crashed out, and then disconnected. So it was all a very big chain of events, which I didn't enjoy going through.
Dear Lord.
Well, I feel very sorry for you having DNF'd because of a hardware issue, so it's no fault of your own. So chin up, do well next round.
Yeah, and especially after the spin on lap 1, I was quite happy to be in P10 and then to crash out. Yeah.
At least you can celebrate for your
It's
teammate who's won 2 races in a row.
2 for 2. Let's hope we can make it 4 for 4 very soon.
Alright, well thank you for joining us, Project User. We'll be starting our podium soon. Hope to see you cheering for your teammate.
Yes, thank you.
Alright, have a good one. We also have in the interview waiting box, Fernan. Oh, hang on a second, let's start our podium real quick.
Yeah, let's get the podium over and done with and see who we can talk to. So, coming out in
P3,
third
we're
place.
going to be having Fernan. P2 is going to be E-Sliders for the ZR team, getting a great podium today. That's going to get some good points for E-Sliders team. And Kakira is going to take... What in the world is he wearing?
I don't know, and I'm not going to ask any questions.
Me neither. But that will be KR getting some great points for the day, even though their teammate did not finish the race. However, Kakira is going to be able to get a good amount of points compared to everybody else, to be fair. So they're going to be your top team today.
You're going to see them all there.
But anyways, that will wrap up F1. We will be having a few interviews before we start F2 shortly. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, stay with us for a little bit as we do those interviews. And later today, we'll be starting the F2 race.
Just see who we can get.
And if you don't remember, that F2 race will be taking place in Greece. So do we want to start getting a few interviews set up?
Oh, I'm just picking people to see if they're there.
Do we want to do, we got Indominus, Professor, Fernan.
Okay, right. Indominus said yes first, so let's bring in Indominus.
Alright.
Hello, Indominus.
Hello, Indominus.
How did that race go for you and eSpirit?
P5, honestly, it's a surprise for me due to the P10 over in Australia, but it feels special in a way. I don't know how to put it, but like I love to do this more often, and I feel very good. P5, top 5. It's not bad for the team, and Joxy is P10, so that's also good points for eSpirit as well.
Well, congratulations to you.
How are you planning on doing in the next one?
Well, it's Greece, so there is to be expected bumps there, as what I've seen from previous race. And, well, to be honest, I don't know, but I hope to do as well as I did today. And, yeah.
Alright, well thank you for joining us today, Indominus. Good luck on your next race in Greece. We'll be seeing you soon.
Yep, bye.
Let's bring
And
in.
next, do we want to have Professor Blosser?
Yeah, let's bring in Professor Bloxer. Hello, Professor Bloxer.
So tell us, Professor, what happened during the first turn of the race? Did something happen with the car, or was there a issue with the turning?
I think it was just a bump going to turn one. The last weekend on high fuel, typically the car doesn't really react to that turn one bump, but I just think I overestimated the bump and I just took the corner too high. I hit a slide, I tried correcting it, and the front's gripped and I just went straight into the wall on the left.
All right. Do you feel like you'll be able to catch all that when it comes to Greece next season? Sorry, next race?
Definitely. I think we're in a good position. Our car has good quality and race pace. I think it's a very balanced car compared to the KR car, which seems to only be good in the race in terms of tire wear. So it's a marathon, so we'll see what we can do.
Well, we'll be rooting for you for the next one. We'll see you in Greece in 2 weeks.
All right, appreciate it.
No problem. Have a
See
good
you
one.
later, Professor Bloxer.
ya.
Next up, let's bring in Fernan. Hello, Fernan, the other Aston Martin driver.
Hello.
So how do you feel about getting that P3 and getting a podium after your teammate had the horrible crash at the very first turn of the race?
Well, in chronological order, I think I felt really bad for Prof when he crashed. Like, we were very silent on the first 3 laps when we heard he crashed. And for the podium, it took quite long. I think I'm really happy about this. Honestly, I'm actually shaking right now.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't really know what to say. Other than I'm really happy. Took quite long. Like, I lost 3 podiums. 2 of them were DNFs, and one of them was a really bad strategy. Yeah, I felt bad for Critical too on that last mistake he made on Sector 3.
Very.
How do you feel you're gonna be able?
Go on, Shay.
Sorry. How do you feel you're gonna be able to do when it comes to Greece in 2 weeks? Do you feel like you'll be able to get some more points for your team and probably have Professor Blocksher get some more as well? Maybe get a double Aston Martin podium?
Yeah, I definitely think that's possible, especially because Greece is at least one of my strongest tracks to be in, and possibly for Prof 2.
Alright, you have any questions, Deepak?
No, I don't really have any questions. But congratulations, by the way, because I know your race pace in the past has deserved you of a podium, and in season 4 you finally have one. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And we'll be seeing you in 2 weeks when it comes to Greece, and we'll be seeing how you do there as well.
Yep, we'll see you there.
Okay. See you, Fernan.
See ya.
And
And
now, I think for the last
finally,
one
I
of the
think we'll
day,
have
we have East.
E-sliders?
Hello, East.
Hello.
How do you feel that you got P2 for ZR, and I believe is maybe your first podium for ZR between last season and this season?
Yeah, that's the first podium in general. And from the time I joined F1, which isn't much, I never really raced much, but yeah, that is the first podium.
So how does it feel? I don't believe you were racing in Australia, were you?
No, I was reserving.
So how does it feel to go from not racing on the first race and then getting a podium in the second race?
Business as usual. You just gotta get out there, get in the groove quickly, and then go get some points.
Actually, something I'm interested in. What made you think to wait on your pits in order to get those different compounds, get the hard compounds, because you realized...
I stayed out to see how much time Kaikira was gonna gain. I told somebody to get a stopwatch and see how much of a gap there was between Kaikira, and then see how much like time in each sector they were gaining. Then after that lap that I stayed out on, because I'm pretty sure like a lap prior Kaikira pit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
And then right after that, I'm like, okay, he's gaining too much time. I'll pit. And at that point, the water was going down, so we just took the gamble, and I went on the hards.
From what I
Rough
noticed,
start,
is that
but-
Kakira actually pit for new intermediates, and when you guys waited, the track started drying, and then you put on the hards, and Kakira had to do a completely other pit in order to get the mediums. So, if anything, I think you guys had a better strategy.
Yeah, but we did have an issue at the start. If I recall correctly, it was like around 30% track water, and it was still quite a bit for the hard, so a lot of
That is-
spinning.
that is true,
A lot
you
of
did
the
have
wheel
a-
spin, but
You
did
did have
manage
a
to
bit of
hold it
a
a little bit.
slide in the transition between turn 1 and turn 2.
Mhm.
You are right. I do remember that. But you were at least able to get this into a P2, and that is nothing to feel bad about.
Yeah, I had a feeling that for like the last couple laps, 'cause Critical, myself, and Ferdinand were like right next to each other. I had a feeling it was gonna come down to the line, and especially like who was gonna have the DRS on the DRS sections, because you lose a lot of time being up front without anybody to give you slipstream. So I think I got lucky in that part, but I am really grateful for being here. I've had a really rough couple weeks recently, so this is definitely a nice treat.
And how do you feel that you're going to be able to bring this pace when it comes to Greece in 2 weeks?
Who knows? I am racing that next race weekend because Milanic is out, but I'll just try to do what I did here.
Melodic's out? What happened?
Life for now.
That makes sense. Well, we'll be sure to be able to see you when it comes to Greece, and hopefully you'll be able to keep the pace you had for this race.
Thank you.
Deepa, do you have any questions?
I don't. Again, congratulations on the pace. It was a very exciting three-way battle for this podium, for second and third. So, yeah, very exciting to commentate over. Very exciting to watch as well at home, I bet.
I'll definitely watch the replay.
Well, that should be it. Hopefully we see you do the same pace when it comes to next race. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me. Take care.
And with that, I think that will conclude the race and interviews.
Yeah.
Be sure to tune in to the F2 stream.
That is coming up very shortly. But before we go, as we always do, a big thank you to the members of the channel who support financially to the media team. Had a couple new members in the engineer channel, engineer rank. Also some people switched to reserve driver, and Epic's YouTube channel who switched over to the driver rank. So if you want to check out any of the perks you can get by supporting financially, just head on over to the memberships channel in the main Ion Discord server. The main Discord server is also where you'll receive perks such as wallpapers and stuff like that. So if that interests you, feel free to join. I'm not going to complain. Yeah, but for now, F2's up next in Greece, where we'll be in a couple weeks' time for F1. So from Shea, from myself, have a very good day, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.